Welcome to this explainer. I want you to picture your calendar right now. Is it just a suffocating, shattered wall of back-to-back meetings? Are you constantly feeling that intense pressure to reply to messages within literal seconds? Well, consider this your wake-up call. Today, we're going to fundamentally shift how you think about productivity. We're tearing down the traditional 9-to-5 workday and exposing it for what it truly is, a completely outdated, broken relic. We'll explore exactly why the modern workday is failing us so badly, and more importantly, how we finally fix the whole shebang. So, let's actually rewind a bit to the 1920s, the era when this whole scheduling system really started. Just think about that for a second. The standard 8-hour 9-to-5 workday, it's not some natural law of human biology or the secret to peak cognitive function. It's a legacy system. It was standardized over a century ago by Henry Ford for one very specific reason: to optimize factory assembly lines. Because in that industrial setting, synchronous work was absolutely mandatory. I mean, the worker attaching the wheels literally had to be physically present at the exact same time as the worker attaching the engine. Their output was directly tied to the physical time they spent standing on that factory floor. And honestly, this is the exact mismatch we're all living through right now. On one side, you've got the assembly line worker who absolutely must be physically present and perfectly in sync with everyone else to attach parts. But on the other side, you have the modern knowledge worker. Today's value isn't driven by physical parts at all. It's driven entirely by logic, code, design, and strategy. So forcing today's digital problem solvers to operate on this synchronized industrial assembly line logic, it's a systemic failure. It just doesn't compute anymore. Which brings us to a really crucial question. Why are you still working on a factory schedule? Seriously, if you manage a team, I want you to ask yourself right now, are you managing your team's actual, tangible output? Or are you just watching those little green activity dots on a screen to make sure they're sitting at their desks? We're applying a heavy industrial framework to a completely digital reality, and it's holding us back. Section 1. The Industrial 9-to-5 Legacy. Let's unpack why applying this century-old industrial framework to modern digital workers completely destroys efficiency and innovation. When you really get down to it, we hit the core truth of modern productivity. I want you to really absorb this quote from our source material. The modern professional does not produce value by simply being present. That right there, that's the entire paradigm shift. Today, value is produced by executing deep, focused problem solving. It's not produced by simply logging hours on a floor, warming a chair from 9 to 5, or desperately trying to prove to your boss that you are quote-unquote online. Section 2. The Sync Remote Work Fallacy. Now, you might be thinking, hey, we work from home now. We use flexible tech. We've evolved way past the factory. But the data shows we really didn't. When the world went remote, we didn't fix the factory. We literally just digitized it into an endless stream of anxiety. Most organizations just recreated the factory floor in the cloud. We replaced physical cubicles with open Zoom links. And instead of the occasional tap on the shoulder at the office, we created this chaotic environment with relentless Slack notifications and instant messaging. We built a system where how fast you respond is somehow valued way more than the actual quality of your work. And this dynamic perfectly defines the exact burnout and context-switching fatigue you're probably feeling right this second. The source material calls this the hyperactive hive mind. It's a workflow centered around constant, ongoing conversation, and it totally destroys your capacity for undistracted deep work. Deep work requires high cognitive load focus. When you're constantly context-switching, say jumping from a complex coding environment or heavy strategic planning just to suddenly join a synchronous meeting or answer a random ping, your performance degrades, burnout skyrockets, and your project timelines stretch out endlessly. For my tech audience out there, think of it like this. Synchronous remote work is basically the human equivalent of a blocked main thread in a web app. Just like a bad script freezing a web page, endless status meetings and instant reply expectations are literally crashing human performance. What we actually need is to operate like asynchronous JavaScript. We need to allow team members to push projects forward and load information in the background without freezing the entire human system. Section 3. Defining true asynchronous. To actually fix the modern workplace, we have to completely decouple collaboration from real-time presence. So what does a true async organization even look like? Well, here are the core principles. First, immediate responses are rarely necessary. Just take a breath and let that sink in. Second, documentation replaces conversation. So instead of holding a super disruptive meeting just to talk about a new feature, you write a detailed, thoughtful brief. Third is pull request collaboration.
Just like committing code to a repo, work is submitted for review when it's actually ready, and your colleagues review it on their own optimized schedules. And finally, outcomes over output. Management shifts away from tracking hours logged to tracking actual, tangible milestones completed.
Section 4. The Async Tech Stack. Of course, it's not enough to just change the mindset. You actually need the right tools to replace that factory floor. Here is the 3-step workflow powering the async revolution. Step 1. Centralized knowledge. You query a single source of truth, like Notion or Confluence. All company data and project statuses live globally right there. If a team member has a question, they query the database before bothering a human. Step 2. Rich media memos. You record a loom. This workflow is exactly how you replace a 30-minute calendar clogging status meeting with a tight 3-minute screen recording. The recipient gets all the context, and they can watch it at 1.5 speed when their schedule permits. Step 3. Structured version control in environments like GitHub or Figma. This lets multiple contributors branch off, experiment, and merge changes without needing anyone breathing down their neck in real time.
Section 5. The future of work.
Shifting to this async model isn't just about feeling a little less stressed. It unlocks a massive global economic advantage, both for the business and psychologically for the team. Async completely shatters geographic borders. A company is no longer limited to hiring talent within a 30-mile radius of a physical office, or even a specific time zone for that matter. A developer can push a deployment at 2 a.m. their local time. 4 hours later, at 6 a.m., a QA team on the exact opposite side of the planet reviews it. The network is always active and moving forward, even while the individual human nodes are fast asleep.
And psychologically, this changes everything. Async restores autonomy. It allows individuals to align their work with their natural energy peaks. Whether you're an early bird who crushes complex strategy at dawn, or a night owl who honestly codes best at midnight, it doesn't matter. By protecting these large, uninterrupted blocks of time, your output quality drastically increases, while the actual hours you need to sit at your computer to achieve those outcomes decrease. It's a total win-win.
Now, as we look ahead to the next decade, artificial intelligence is going to accelerate this landscape even further. By the end of the decade, AI agents will handle all of this synchronous triage. They'll instantly organize data, answer those annoying low-level queries, and structure tasks in real time. This leaves human workers, the top-tier talent, completely free to operate with absolute chronological freedom. We'll be engaging exclusively in high-level, asynchronous execution and strategy. It's going to be wild. So the reality here is crystal clear. The 9-to-5 will very soon be viewed as this archaic constraint for digital teams. Companies demanding real-time synchronized presence are absolutely going to lose top talent to organizations offering complete chronological freedom. So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. When will you break the 8-hour loop? Are you finally ready to leave the industrial factory behind? Take these tools, implement these principles, and take your time back.